Hello and welcome to episode number 6 on the Traders Improve podcast. Today we are talking about why not everything is black and white in trading and how to make better trading decisions to improve also your mental state. So hello to or welcome back to the Traders Improve podcast, episode number 6 already. And first of all, thank you for all the great feedback. Now that we have officially published the podcast, I got a lot of emails and nice feedback. Great. And I'm really happy about that. Soon, yes, we will do a podcast together with Moritz, where probably or maybe even already this week. So let's see. But he will definitely be on the show. I think he will also do a few of episodes himself. And today I want to talk about a topic that not many traders even consider in their trading, and not realizing those implications or the things that or the options that you have as a trader can be very detrimental and can be very dangerous for a trader's performance. On the other hand, a trader who knows how to not only think in black or white terms and how to understand to use the gray space in between the decision making can often improve his trading significantly. So many traders often believe that they only have one of two choices. They have to get into a trade or skip the trade. They have to exit their trade or let it run. They have to do one thing over the other. But it's not true. And you always have more than one option. And this is also, or having such a mindset where you only think in those binary terms, yes or no, all in or not, get in or not, can be very dangerous. And on the other hand, knowing how to improve the decision-making can cause a lot of benefits. So, for example, many traders always say, oh, should I take the trade or not? And then I say, well, that's not only your two options. You can get into the trade with a small position size. So, for example, if you normally take a risk of 1% on a regular trade, use maybe a tenth of that to get into the trade a little bit earlier if you already have your criteria. And that's really the big one. You must make sure that you already have valid entry criteria, but maybe you are not quite sure about the trade, or maybe it's not perfect yet, it's not quite there yet, but you fear that waiting maybe one more candle would then lead to the trade or the price running away from your entry. So this is where many traders then always say, this is not perfect yet, I'm waiting, or they think that, okay, I would be able to take the trade, but I don't feel comfortable about it, so I will wait a bit longer. And then what happens? The trade will run away, the price takes off, and they get frustrated. They maybe chase the price, chase the trade, get into late, then the price reverses, they become frustrated because they took a stupid loss based on a decision they know they shouldn't have made, and that creates then a downward spiral. But I always call this principle, I'm sure I did not invent this, but at least you have a foot in the door, which means that you don't have your full position, you will not get a full winning trade, but you don't have this feeling of regret and the feeling of missing out, where you stalked a trade, you planned a trade, you saw that the pieces were coming together, but you were just not 100% sure yet. But you still took a little bit of a position, a tenth or 25% of your original account size, of your original position size. You will at least have a small winning trade, or you will at least have some skin in the game. And this can be a very big stress reliever and can help people to avoid many of those unpleasant emotions where they think, oh, I'm missing the trade. On the other hand, let's say you are in a profitable trade, the price is retracing a little bit, you're not sure what to do, you don't want to give back all profits, obviously, but you don't also want to cut your winning trade short. Why not take off a small position? Why not take off a tenth or 20% of your original position size and at least bring home some profits? What I don't like is, don't move your stop loss to break even. What does it do? You think you get a risk-free trade? No, of course not. Nothing is risk-free. You're still risking your unrealized profits. But if you take home a small position of your trade and a small profit, at least you have realized some profits, and that can be a big relief, and it can show you, okay, my analysis was correct. But so stay flexible with your decision making. It's not always just black and white. Also, when it comes to position sizing, you can really apply this principle. Again, you don't have to just think of, is this a trade or not? Should I get in or get out? You can also use this for, just structuring your position sizing in a little bit of a different way. Let's say normally you take 1% per trade if the trade is good, but you don't have all the criteria and the setup's not quite perfect, but it's still good. And you suspect that because of a lower criteria count, the setup's not as perfect, but it's still valid. That's important. You have to make sure that you're at least taking a valid setup. Then you account for this, this mediocrity, this little bit lower odds probably that you will hit a good winning trade. You count for that with smaller position size. Flexible position sizing is very important. Basing your position sizing approach based on your the setup quality can be very, very helpful for many traders. And this is also something where you don't only think in black or white, but you have a little bit of wiggle room in between. So this can help a lot with emotional problems that traders have, where they get frustrated when they miss a trade, when they don't realize how many options they actually have as a trader. So it's not always black and white, and there's actually a lot of things that you can do. And I think that's a good time to wrap this up. We don't have to make this longer than it has to be. Everything that I wanted to say has been said, so approach your trading a little bit more with an open mind, understand that you have options, and explore what types of decision making you can optimize a little bit, or where you have some wiggle room. And then also make sure that you are not creating some knee-jerk strategy where you have a lot of inconsistencies. You need to make sure that at least you're making your decisions consistently. You don't only have to make black or white decisions, but if you start getting into this gray zone, make sure that you have some processes and you don't jump around or use it as an excuse to jump around. Alright, time to wrap this up. Again, if you want to follow me on other channels, my username is always Tradeciety, trade from Trade and Ciety Ciety. I look forward to hearing from you, and I'll catch you in the next episode.